Hey guys, so it looks like Donald Trump is walking back yet another campaign promise. I want to play a clip for you here from Donald Trump's incoming border czar, Tom Homan. By the way, what the hell is a border czar? There's no such position in the federal government. And what is this, like 19th century Russia? Where do we get off calling administration officials in this country czars? Anyway, take a look at this clip from Tom Homan.
Can you help us understand what the plan is? A number of industries in this country hire undocumented workers because they are cheap labor. On day one, are you going to restart raids on work sites, on construction sites?
The President Trump's been clear, as I've been clear from day one, that President is going to concentrate on public safety threats and national security threats. And have you heard from your previous segments, we have a huge national security issue in this country. The southwest border has become the biggest national security vulnerability we've seen in this nation. FBI Director Wray agrees with me. We know there's people in this country who pose a national security threat. They've arrested a record number of people on the terrorist watch list, a 3,500% increase in people on the terrorist watch list being arrested at the border. We got over 2 million known gotaways. We know 2 million people crossed the border, weren't arrested, weren't vetted, weren't fingerprinted. So you got to ask yourself.
Okay, so here's Trump's border czar talking about the mass deportations that the Trump administration is going to undertake. And now it looks like they're rolling back the promise. Because, see, he's going to focus on criminals and national security threats. See, I seem to recall Donald Trump promising to deport everyone who was in the country illegally, tens of millions of people. I heard no campaign promise where this was limited to just the criminals and the national security threats, because if that's what we're talking about, we're not talking about tens of millions. We're talking about a relative handful, right? Because there really are 10 to 20 million people in this country illegally, as far as I've seen in the reports. The truth is, nobody really knows. But the criminals and the national security threats among those people is a very tiny number. And that was not what Donald Trump was promising. See, the cult wants everybody rounded up and stuck in concentration camps before eventually being deported. Not just the criminals, not just the national security threats. But here's the thing. Donald Trump was bought and paid for by billionaires who need cheap labor. Do you think that they are going to let their hand puppet that they paid good money for, Donald Trump, you think they're going to let him deport all their cheap illegal immigrant labor? Hell no. That was never going to happen. This was just another lie that Donald Trump fed to his cult because that's what they wanted to hear. And now that he's been reelected, he ain't keeping that promise. He doesn't care about making those people happy anymore. He cares about making the billionaires happy, because those are the people he cares about going forward. Trump 2.0 is all about the biggest grift in American political history. And Donald Trump cozying up to the billionaire class, doing their bidding, that is what's going to line Donald Trump's pockets. He doesn't need his MAGA base voters anymore. Now, that being said, he's going to pretend that he is deporting tens of millions of people. And those people are too stupid. His supporters are too stupid to know the difference. So Donald Trump will make sure that they do some raids and some roundups, and they'll be sure to have the cameras there to play it on Fox News. And Donald Trump will put out some posts on Truth Social claiming that they have deported 15, 20 million people. It won't be true at all, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be true. If he says it, that's good enough for his cult. And I'm sure he will issue some executive orders and do all that kind of fancy window dressing to make it look like he's deporting tens of millions of people. But he will be doing no such thing because his billionaire masters won't let him. And truthfully, Donald Trump doesn't give a shit anyway. He doesn't care about illegal immigration. Do you think he's affected by illegal immigration? No. This was always, from the very beginning in 2015 when he came down the escalator, this was all about telling the fools in the base of the Republican Party what they want to hear. Trump doesn't care about illegal immigration. He doesn't care about any of these issues. It's just to get their votes. And he doesn't need their votes anymore. Anyway, if any of you MAGA are listening, you've been sold out.